You will take your seats, please. Thank you. Welcome. Wait. Mr. Carter, your seat's down there. Welcome to the July 21 regular meeting, of a special board meeting of the Board of Trustees, Tarrant County College. We welcome all of you. Mr. Gates, any public comments? Thank you. First two items of business are to approve the minutes of the meeting of June 16th. Motion to approve, please. Seconded by Mr. Heed. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor, aye. Thank you. Any opposed? And also to approve the minutes of the meeting of July 12th. Motion to approve. Seconded, Mr. Carter. Any questions? Miss, oh, it's okay. All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda has two items on it, the consideration and approval of the web privacy notice and statement of information disclosure practices and the 2016-2017 strategic plan. Motion to approve the consent agenda. Mr. Heed, seconded by Dr. Morrison. Any questions? Discussion, all those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Don't believe there are any committee reports this meeting. So item number 8, Ms. Petty, I think you're up for quite some time.
Good evening.
You're monopolizing our agenda today.
Well,
Consideration and approval of job order contracting general contractor services agreement with Chambers Engineering for facade repairs on the Northwest Campus in the amount of $220,884.09.
Let's save her some time. I'm good with it.
Motion to approve?
Yes, please.
Mr. Carter, seconded by Dr. Morrison. Any questions of Ms. Petty? Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving right along.
not unless you want me to.
Item number 9, consideration and approval of BuyBoard Cooperative Agreement with Business Interiors to purchase and install intelligent architecture partitions on TCC Connect campus in the amount of $227,855.40. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Carter. Any questions? Comments? Discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? If anyone in the room is new to the process, please know that we have had this information in our hands for several days and have had an opportunity to ask staff questions if there was need for clarification.
And we've included pretty pictures in the summaries now, and I'm hoping you're enjoying those. Good.
Thank you. Excuse me. Item number 10. Consideration and approval of job order contracting construction trade services agreement with Facility Solutions Group to install previously purchased interior LED lighting fixtures in academic classroom building on Northwest Campus in the amount of $182,432.27. Motion to approve. Dr. Morrison, second. Ms. Ayala. Any questions? Comments, discussion, all those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, consideration and approval of job order contracting construction trade services agreement with Brandt companies for purchase and installation of emergency power distribution system for South Campus in the amount of $230,644.08. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed. Seconded by Mr. Carter.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions?
Actually, I do think it's a item worthy of a little bit of an explanation, because we keep it's again reflective of what happens when you add, new facilities that put new stresses things on it. So tell us what the story is on this.
If you want the real story, I'll ask Walt Williams to join me up here to really talk about it. And you have what I love that
is
we're
he
doing.
in there?
He is here, and he's coming.
No, it's not Walt, it's the end of, near for
Is the,
for these.
Walt's here, and I
because
hope the end's near at the South
we
Campus.
we hope to keep Walt around for a long time.
Yes, that's right.
Essentially, it's not anything that's caused by expansion at the campus. It's a more efficient way to serve our needs as far as emergency power. Those have changed a lot. A lot of things we do currently as far as notification and communication are now done over IP, over the computer network. And this system will ultimately keep that up and alive when we need it, as well as kind of mundane things like emergency lighting to get out of the building. So those are the main functions that these systems will cover. Doesn't really have much to do with expansion at all.
And as the report and summary reflected is for 4 of the buildings that are listed there, which is the science, automotive technology, health sciences, and math buildings.
Place where this computers and controls would be.
Well, I mean, each building is going to have an IT infrastructure that, again, we're trying to keep alive to support the phones and fire alarms and things in the building that would be handy to have during an emergency conditions. Each building has its own kind of
Okay.
infrastructure.
All right, so, okay, I'll let this go. So are these going to require new staffing for people to manage these systems, or?
They have to, well, the generators aren't so numerous that they're that many more than we have now. There's maintenance on anything new, obviously. There's probably less maintenance overall. The current emergency lighting, for example, we have is run off batteries, and you have to go out individually. There's one right behind you there. And you have to go up there and labor-wise go push that button, okay, to see if it works, to test, make sure the batteries are okay. These systems are less maintenance intense than that.
Okay.
And we don't anticipate adding any staff because of the systems that they're putting in at this time. We are looking at doing more training around our operational staff in terms of all the new. Sometimes, that's right, absolutely. Good questions, thank you very much.
Other questions, discussion?
The only question I have is after the, Walter, I think that it said that after 90 minutes, that this will keep it on for, maintain the power for 90 minutes. What happens after the 90 minutes?
Well, that's a minimum. That's kind of a code thing. After that, depending on how the system is loaded, it could go a lot longer than that. That's the code minimum, I believe, if that's correct, David. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I hope we're not buying a minimum level equipment, then ours would go longer than 90 minutes, right? Is that a yes? I didn't hear a yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the installation, frankly. We have to, I don't want to say cut things off at points, but the emergency generator infrastructure ultimately will let it run more or less indefinitely as long as you have fuel. But the code minimum and the way we're set up now is at 90 minutes.
Okay, so let me just make a statement and I'll finish for tonight, because I promised I wasn't. I promised I wasn't gonna say anything this meeting, but because we're spending money, let's not just spend for the minimum, ever. Because usually getting a little bit more, bumping it up a little, doesn't cost that much more. So that's what as just a general statement.
Sure, and we do try to consider all that when we select.
Thank you.
It's a balance, you know. Thank you for that comment, and it is a balance to provide best value at the same time to be cost efficient with what we're doing with our funds. So,
To Dr. Morrison's point, if 90 minutes is the requirement, do we know that 90 minutes is sufficient amount of time for everybody to, would it be for an evacuation? Is that what it is? So based on I guess, the capacity, I mean, of how many people would be in the building, we'd still be able to get everybody out.
Right, I mean,
Okay.
essentially, you want people to leave,
Right.
right? So,
Right. I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure that would be sufficient amount of time. I mean, I don't know how many floors, I don't know if there's one
Yeah.
elevator, if there's stairs, that's all I was trying to
Right.
make sure of.
No, it's-
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Item number 11. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, consideration and approval of purchase of chiller from Texas Air Systems for the Erma Johnson Hadley Center of Excellence for Aviation Transportation and Logistics in the amount of $287,841. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, second.
Second, another bucket of paint.
Yeah, thank you very much for this, because when we had the bucket of paint, we didn't anticipate this, and we tried to nurse this baby along. And I think there's,
I've been out there. I'm
yeah,
not-
Yeah.
yeah,
not faulting
Well-
you, but,
Yeah.
it really stuck.
it really does. And this,
The system's in there,
yeah,
I don't know, meant to be mostly open air or something, but,
and we're using it differently than the
not getting
building.
done, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well, and
intended for.
I think it's important, though, for you to talk about the history of that building. For us, it's a new building.
Right, that's
But
right.
and it looks new, but
Right.
it's not new.
No.
If you talk a little bit about the history, I think that's important.
I think both Walt and I can probably talk, but I mean, it is an older building constructed in 1991. And so the system that was set up in there was a single aired cool 100-ton chiller. And again, we were trying to nurse it along. When we had the bucket of paint that we were given to do the work, we anticipated that maybe we could make it work for us. But with students and coming and goings, it's just used in a completely different way than Bell Helicopter used it. That was a corporate office, and it didn't have the amount of activity that we have going in it. And again, to Dr. Morrison's point, this is a good investment and a wonderful asset that we have for the long term. And getting that work done now is practical. And I know that the people that office up at that building are very happy that we are doing something about the air conditioning. So,
How long, when you switch this out, how long is the air conditioning down? Is this something you do when between periods or what?
The plan here is to do it over the holiday break.
So when there's nobody there?
Correct.
So it's a few days?
A couple of weeks, probably, yeah. But it shouldn't take the whole system down, just parts of it.
Not wait till school's down a little bit.
But you also talked about redundancy in this. You might explain that. I mean, if one goes down, then the other one will take care of the whole
Right,
building.
essentially, what we strive for at the district is N+1, and then I have a little explanation, but that means your biggest machine goes down, you're still good. So this will allow us to be in that position. Right, currently, we aren't.
Okay.
Okay, one more thing. Do we scrap the old chiller, or are we gonna have supplementary? We're gonna still use it as a backup, or what?
No, we aren't. This is actually an add. We have 2 there now, we'll have 3 when we're
Okay, so we
complete.
still use the
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
sit down. We don't scrap anything, for the most part.
Other questions?
Call the question.
All those in favor of item number 12, to purchase the chiller, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 13 is actually, there's a change in the amount, but it's $100,000 less, so we'll take it.
Yes,
Consider-
the new number is $395,014.18. And I just make a comment on this. One of our PMs, project managers, our master electrician, Don Lang, who's not here this evening, but works for Walt and David and Chris, found this in his due diligence in the last couple of days, and that's reflective, and it's mainly copper pricing on that, and that's what brought this down. So we were going to pull the item, and then we were able to work with procurement and get it moving, so we're real pleased to have this deduction on this one.
So item number 13 should read consideration and approval of job order contracting construction trade services agreement with Facility Solutions Group for installation of low-voltage switchgear on South Campus in the amount of $395,014.18. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, seconded by Mr. Carter. Any questions, comments, discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 14, consideration and approval of purchase and installation of switchgear and transformers for electrical distribution system upgrade on Northeast Campus in the amount of $3,916,541. Motion to approve.
So,
moved.
Mr. Carter,
second.
seconded by Dr. Morrison. Questions?
I
Comments?
think I did note as I was reading this over that, that this indicated that this will get us adequately ready for the new Fine Arts Center, so we won't have to come back and redo everything. This will take care of it.
And that completes it for this project, as you see in the phasing plan too. Yep, and that will, that campus really is in dire need of this. So yes, thousands and thousands of feet, I'm informed, of wiring that goes into all this, and it will equip us for the new building.
Thank you much.
And you have three different contractors, and they all work together? Put
Absolutely.
this together? That's,
And we manage to that, absolutely.
yeah. Well, I guess my only question, because I don't know, why three different ones? They just have all different levels of expertise and.
Absolutely.
Supply
In
and
each of these different areas, they do. And we work with procurement in terms of how we go out. As you see, one was a request for a proposal, the others were two requests for quotes, and it's definitely different equipment and services that we need from each of them, and then we coordinate that work together. But we felt like putting them together in one request and approval for you gets you to sort of see how we're doing it
Yeah.
together versus bringing it in isolated contracts.
Yeah,
Works
thank-
best.
Thank you.
I do have a question also. What role have we played in getting this together? So if we've had three different vendors that are involved, what role or what responsibilities have we taken to get the,
We've managed the whole design. I mean, our whole team did the whole design, initiated the whole process with all of it. And so we're working with procurement and putting it all together. But it's mainly having the expertise in-house with Walt Williams and David Holke to be able to provide this kind of service without having to go outside to get outside expertise to bring this together. So we're really saving a lot of money to be able to have this expertise in-house to pull it together as a team, and then they'll manage it all the way through the process with our project management team and Chris Campbell. So that's how it works.
thank you for that.
Thank them.
I do every single day.
Nina has quite a team.
One more thing, how disruptive is this going to be to the campus? It sounds like you're going to be doing a lot of excavations, digging, redoing, whatever.
You know, we try to make all the work we do as minimal as possible and work through the schedules with the campus presidents and their team. You know, the South Campus, I mean, I think they're very thankful for all they went through. There was a bit of disruption, and you learn from that. And I think the coordination with our vendors is, Ms. Ayala talked about the coordination of that and how we manage that business as we're going forward is really what helps. But it's a team effort. It's working with the campuses and their leadership on how disruptive it is. But for the most part, it goes pretty darn smooth.
Remember she said that.
Well, and you might want to ask the presidents how they feel about it, because they're the client, and they're the
Not
ones
tonight.
that you know, from our standpoint, we think we do it well, and we try to monitor it with them and ask them. But we have to work kind of hand in glove with them in terms of schedules and how to do it in the road work and with the police, of course, and all that. But I think it goes smooth. We haven't had too much complaints, and we do a number of just surveys after the fact to make sure everybody's happy with how we do it, and we learn from it. You know, each opportunity we take to the next campus and say, how could we do that better at Northeast now that we're doing all this infrastructure work there after we did it at South? I hope that answers your question.
You ready for the question? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Item number 14, consideration and approval of
15.
purchase. I'm sorry,
15.
15. Consideration and approval of purchase interior LED lighting system fixtures from Facility Solutions Group for TCC Connect Campus in the amount of $122,881. Motion to approve? Dr. Morrison, second. Ms. Ayala? Questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Shelton, consideration and approval of purchase of 5-year Cisco Systems Enterprise License Agreement with Insight Direct. Total amount of $741,445.75, broken down to $148,289.15 per year. It's a 5-year contract. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed? Seconded by Dr. Morrison. Any questions of Ms. Shelton?
Yes, I'd like to ask you, could you kind of explain what we're acquiring and what this is going to do for us, please?
Everything that rides over the network, the voice, the video, the data on our Cisco network requires a license. And so what we have done is we purchase those licenses per year for $250,000 a year. And this is just an opportunity to buy a 5-year contract at a considerable savings, because we have to have it anyway. We're going to use those services on the network. We have to have a license for each use.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Item number 17, consideration and approval of purchase second-generation virtual displays from Netsync Network Solutions in the amount of $190,350. Motion to approve. Dr. Morrison, seconded by Ms. Ayala. Discussion, questions?
I don't have a question. It's my understanding that basically some of the older ones really aren't applicable from Windows 10. This will make everybody, bring everybody up to speed, so we can use the most recent
Operating system, right.
display units, I guess. So.
That's correct.
Other discussion, questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Item number 18, consideration and approval of purchase Cisco server for virtual displays and servers from General Datatech in the amount of $277,132.08. Motion to approve. Ms. Ayala, a second, please. To Mr. Heed, discussion, questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Item number 19, consideration and approval of purchase security equipment and consulting from General Datatech in the amount of $206,893.14. Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, second. Ms. Dr. Morrison, questions, discussion?
I'm sorry, I can't quite remember. This is enhanced security
Yes.
for the system, so.
Internal and external security. Every time, and from your personal computers, every time you download the McAfee or whatever you use, there are hackers somewhere else to learn how to break through that system. So this will allow us to remain current and make sure that our data is secured both from internal and external attack.
All those in, more questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Shelton.
Thank you.
Mr. Greenhill is absent tonight, so we will ask him to give his report on the conference at the next meeting. We're going to go into closed session for deliberation of real property, Section 551.072, Texas Government Code, deliberation of personnel matters, Section 551.074, Texas Government Code, and consultation with attorney, Section 551.071, Texas Government Code. Possibly there will be action at the end of the closed session, but you are welcome to excuse yourselves. I would call your attention to our next meeting, which is August 4th. Then on August 18th, there's a 5 o'clock budget workshop with a board meeting to follow at 6. On August 25th, we will have our annual back-to-school breakfast in Arlington. And then in September, we are moving the board meeting from the 3rd Thursday to the 4th Thursday, September 22nd. So you heard it here first. Get that on your calendars. And we will see you then, or if not before.
Madam President, for the record, could I ask the Chancellor to include in this year's budget consideration an evaluation of the readiness of our police officers to secure us and our facilities in today's environment? including their personal safety, as well as building, all building security, and et cetera. I think that's a matter of importance that needs to be evaluated and considered in this year's budget.
Certainly. And some of that's already underway.
Yes. Thank you.
We are recessed, and we will return. Thank you. reconvene the meeting at 7:15. Mr. Heed?
I'd like to make a motion that the board accept applications for appointment as District 3 trustee until the next election in May 2017. Applications will be considered an appointment to be, is this on? Yeah, it just kind of died. Applications will be considered an appointment to be made at the August 4th, 2016 special board meeting, which will start at 5 p.m.
Mr. Carter seconded the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.